Episode 111. If that main title fight was enough, we got another fight. I guess we can't call it really an undercard fight, right? Because that
No, it's the co-main event. It's the co-main event.
It's a co-main event. So the co-main event, ladies and gentlemen, episode 111, Hit versus Jiren. We got another interesting fight right after the fight between Goku and Jiren. We got Hit and Jiren, and it was another good fight. I really enjoyed that fight. I really like seeing Hit fight, especially someone like that, who already kind of showed how powerful they are, and you know, having Hit's technique, which is always interesting with the whole time jump thing, and this definitely showed the limits of that and how Hit has kind of changed a little bit in character. But first, let's talk about the fight. What is your analysis of this fight? Did time skip? First of all, do you think that maybe Hit could have actually won this fight? Because I mean, he just barely lost, right? I mean, he stopped him. It's just that Jiren was just a little bit too powerful. What do you think? What do you think about this fight?
Well, when it comes back down to it, is like, I feel like with this fight was so important because you seen the Goku fight with using power against him and a new technique. What Hit was doing was the absence of power. Hit is a powerful character in himself, but what he knew with Jiren was that Jiren was on another level with power. But Hit shows the genius, the tactician he is. So it's like, imagine like Krillin versus Gohan when you see them fight. Gohan is clearly stronger than Krillin, but Krillin was such a more like a better fighter. But he was able to maneuver and defeat Gohan in that instance. That's what Hit was doing. So I felt like, yes, Hit could have easily won this fight. That was easily. Hit could have definitely won this fight, and he was kind of winning. Even when he was losing, he was really rope-a-doping the cat. Because when Jiren thought he was doing that, and people say, why does he keep using his time skip? Why does Hit keep doing that? Well, Hit, I knew was baiting him, and which he did. He was baiting him and he was just trying to figure him out. And once he did, he really was owning Hit. Now, if he would have actually teamed up and actually used KO and Khalifa and Kaba or the Namekians or whatever to actually help him out to eliminate this guy, they would have got rid of Jiren. That would have been it. That would have been it. So it's like, also I felt like with this, it's like they were showing really the genius of Hit and the weaknesses of Jiren. And Jiren has weaknesses. And they were showing him so much in this episode. They were showing him so much. I seen so much stuff. I'm like, he's done. Like I feel bad for him when he does fight Goku again because he's done because they showed all his weaknesses. Like,
well, what's his weakness? What is some of the stuff?
His arrogance. That's his weakness. Is his arrogance. You know, he lets his guard down. He lets his guard down, and you can't let your guard down when you're fighting a technique like what Goku has with Ultra Instinct, where he can fight without thinking. You know what I'm saying? Where he could go in and counter everything you have, and you're going to let your guard down, you're going to let your chin up. That's what he did, because Hit caught him with that technique. Hit was about to eliminate him. The only difference is that Hit didn't have the stamina. Now, let's say this would have been early on in a tournament.
Right.
Jiren's done. Because mind you,
Hit, that's what I thought too.
In order for him to hold on to his technique, he was gonna just have it hold out to the time it stalled out. But mind you, Hit fought a lot of fights prior to that. He was fighting against against those people from Universe 11. Hit's universe. Yeah. He was fighting Decino, and Decino was figuring out his time skip too, and he was giving him problems. And the other guy came in there, was tag teaming against Hit. I thought this was like if it wasn't for that, he would have had more stamina to probably hold him for as long as he could.
Yeah.
Not to mention, Jiren was fighting him at max power, just like he fought Goku. There is no more power he has beyond that. If he did, there would be he would have used that a lot sooner. That's his weakness. And the other thing too is, like I said, when he does eliminate Hit, what does he do? He fucking chills out the rest of the fight. He's not worried. He's not concerned about anybody else. Not even concerned about Goku making a comeback because he knows Goku didn't get eliminated. He saw him. He was like, "You're done. Everybody's done. I'm good.
You're weak.
You guys go handle my light work," which is a weakness. Now you're giving Goku time to recover. You don't even know who's been hiding and hidden the rest of this tournament, who's just conserving themselves too, like you. You don't know these things, but you're assuming, and that's his weakness. That's his weakness there. I mean, you're sleeping on Vegeta, but Vegeta could also go blue. You don't know if he could get triggered and end up with that technique as well. You don't know, but he thinks he knows. That's a weakness he has. He let his guard slip with hit. He's dropping the ball to finish off everybody else in this tournament by letting his other guys fight. I mean, that's a weakness he has. That's gonna cost him. I'm telling you, kid, that's gonna cost him. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
He's
there's
arrogant.
definitely.
He didn't eliminate Brie Brienne because he felt like she was now nowhere near his level. She's the most powerful person from her universe and stuff. Why would you not? You know?
And the fact that he's meditating, and he even said it. He's like, Goku's not. I'm not worried about him anymore.
Yeah, I mean, what if the
And,
Yardrat was still around, and what if he decided, you know what, I can't penetrate this force field, but what if I just, touched it and teleported me and him out of bounds?
Yeah,
Would that not be an option? I mean,
That would
number
definitely be an
18
option.
did that to someone from his team. She put up a force field similar to what Hit did. What did she do? She said, I can't penetrate your force field. What I'll do, I'll pick you up in the force field, and I'll throw you out of bounds.
I'll throw you.
What if
Yep.
somebody did that? What if somebody did that? I mean, here's the thing. It's like he doesn't know. He doesn't know. That's his weakness.
And the fact that he doesn't know that Goku got a little pick me up from Frieza, which was an interesting scene.
Yeah, that was very interesting because, a lot of people thought Frieza was going to eliminate him, try to kill him or whatever, get his revenge that way. No, Frieza's smart. And, like, when people think that it's going to be Hit at the end of the day, he's going to be, like, the main guy, the main villain. First of all, Jiren's not a villain. He's not a villain. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
technically, that spirit bomb shouldn't even worked on him just based off of that. The fact he's not a villain. I don't know why Goku even went at him like a villain because he's technically not. Spirit bombs only technically work against people with evil energy. Because I remember that one
Right.
back when Goku was fighting against Vegeta, he threw a spirit bomb at he gave a spirit bomb for Krillin to use, and Krillin said, "There's too much energy for me to handle." He said, "Don't worry, it can't harm you. You're pure in soul. Only works on evil." Jiren's not evil. He's just arrogant. And that's not
Arrogant,
evil. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the difference. But Frieza is a true villain. And the fact that Frieza's not even worried about all the stuff he's seeing with Jiren and Goku using Ultra Instinct. No, he's actually very intrigued by it. I love that whole conversation between him and Goku. He's even trying to help Goku learn how to master it. He
Yep.
says, here you go. I'll give you some time to recover. Here you go. Here's some of my energy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, by the way, the gods were talking about this technique. They calling it Ultra Instinct, and stuff. You should figure out how to fucking master and perfect it. Why is he doing all this? Is anybody asking this question? You know what I'm saying? Why? Are people really think that this dude's just in the tournament and shit? Like, he's going to go all regular and shit? He's going to go good guy? He's not.
Nope.
I feel like he's observing people. Mind you, Frieza's he's a prodigy. Okay, Jiren's not the prodigy that Frieza is. Nobody in that tournament is a prodigy that Frieza is. Frieza got to God level in like 4 months. You know what I'm saying? He's a prodigy.
Yeah.
He's the one who can improve the most in this tournament. And I feel like what he's doing is what they were sending for Frost. When Frost is observing people and he figuring out people's weaknesses, that's what he's doing. He's not even worried about Jiren. I know a lot of people think, well, he's just really powering up Goku so Goku could eliminate a guy that he can't eliminate. No, I don't think that's the case. I think he did that for Goku so Goku and Jiren could teach them some things about himself that he hasn't realized he could do. He just showing them new levels without realizing it, that Frieza could go ahead and get to. I mean, there were things that Goku was learning I seen in the Jiren fight. When Goku was doing that rapid attack with his arms, that reminded me of what Rosie was doing against Goku with that technique she did. It looked exactly like that. And I feel like Frieza's gonna get that. Like, he's gonna learn his Ultra Instinct too. Imagine that dude learns Ultra Instinct. It's a fucking rap.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's what it is that he needs Goku to teach him how to do this without really teaching him how to do this. He needs time to study this technique. He's really only helping Goku to help himself. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what his wish is going to be. We don't know.
Exactly.
We don't know. And at the end of the day, he's the true villain. This is the final fight. People thought this whole thing was going to go down between Jiren and Goku. This is just part 1 of their fight. Even when part 2 happens in the fight, that's not going to be the end of their fight. The real fight is going to be against fucking Frieza. I'm telling you that right now. I'm calling my shot. People overlooking and sleeping on the man, but I've been saying this from day one. He's the perfect villain.
He's just waiting in the wings. He's like, I'm waiting for my opportunity. and he's gonna strike.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really. He wasn't even too phased and concerned by what he saw with Girin and Goku. I find that interesting. You know, like, what does this man got up his sleeves? I mean, let's just say this episode brought up a lot of questions. Now you got hit. He's eliminated, unfortunately. You know, it's funny. It's funny too about
crazy.
that because a lot of people think, and I think they're still in disbelief by it. I heard like these rumors of people saying, "Oh, they feel like Hit is not eliminated. He's still in the tournament," and they have their crazy fan theories. Meanwhile, he's outside, out of bounds. Okay. He's in the stands. You know what I'm saying?
And they acknowledge that that's him. Like, nobody's leaving up to...
There's not a shadow clone or anything else like that. Like, he's on the God pad as eliminated. Okay? If he were to come back into a tournament at this point, Zeno already showed an example of people from the outside who's been eliminated coming in to interfere with people currently in. He'll wipe them out. He said next person from that universe fucking interferes with the tournament, he's wiping out the whole universe right then and there on the spot. You know? So no, listen, he's out, and people need to fucking realize that. Give it up. He's out. We'll never get to see the rematch between him and Vegeta. That's it. Yeah, because I really thought they were gonna have the rematch in this, but I guess it's not gonna happen. And that's it. You know, I mean, it's definitely a great episode. I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. You know, it's definitely, like I said, I love to see, you know, this matchup because of the time skip, because of, you know, the animation, the way it was drawn, everything really popped, and it was an interesting fight. And now it's going to be interesting to see moving forward, you know, how does Goku beat Jiren? I mean, how does he work to getting that technique back? How does Jiren, you know, was Jiren's arrogance be his downfall, like you said, that it might be, you know, that might be what's his weakness. And yeah, it's just going to be interesting to also see what Frieza has up his sleeve, because up until this point, he's been confusing some of the fans.
All the fans. Not all the fans.
All the fans.
They think it's Jiren and Goku. All their theories have been wrong. You know what I'm saying? The only person who's actually been right the whole time has been me and you, kid. That's it.
Yeah.
You know? Like, it's you have to have a true villain. Who's the true villain in all this stuff? And listen, you could bring some character out now, you know, and create a character from another universe and stuff. That's not going to make them a true villain, because at the end of the day, true villain has to be someone who they established from the very beginning. That's what makes a true villain in any genre you ever seen, anything, right? The villains always establish themselves in the beginning. You watch a horror film, they set them up. This is Freddy. This is Jason. Okay? This is the mass student Scream. You know, they're going to kill people. Boom. They set them up. Okay? This is Frieza. They established from the very beginning. Right? It's Frieza the whole time. Okay? They've been hinting at it the whole time. They showed you the potential of this character with Frost and everything else, and the fact that Frieza's done him. And, you know, I'm telling you, it's going to come down to him.
Even before that, you know, this is a character that we haven't seen since Dragon Ball Z. They brought him back. You know, they showed him power up. They showed his, you know, his wanting his revenge, and now they bring him back. They're bringing him back for a reason. And it's like you said, one, they need a true villain for this saga, and two, you know, he's been one of the long-time characters, you know, that is always going to be around. Well, not always, but is going to be one of those main villains. And so people need to start paying attention, like we've been telling them, that he's there for a reason, and he's just not there to just be there. He obviously has a plan, and he will end up being the eventual main villain of the saga.
He's the greatest villain that the series has ever produced. You know what I'm saying? The only person that comes close is Zamasu. I mean, it's not Majin Buu the way Majin Buu was. No. Even Cell is not even Cell. You know what I'm saying?
It's not Cell, yeah.
It's not. I'm telling you, it's him. It's Frieza. It's always been Frieza. It's gonna come down to Frieza. I don't know how far they're gonna go with Frieza. I don't know if it's gonna happen in this tournament. I'm not exactly sure how far they're gonna go with it. Like, it's interesting to see what's gonna happen. I mean, this tournament is definitely is interesting. Like I said, I thought they were gonna end the tournament when they had the whole Girin versus Goku thing. I think that's the way it was. And I didn't think that would make sense, and it really didn't. And I'm like, okay, it's only halfway through. That's good. So other stuff is gonna happen, and I'm telling you, it's gonna happen with him.
Well, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens, but that's the end of that episode, and that's the end of this episode. As always, you can follow us on Twitter at KamehameNow. You can also like, subscribe, share, comment, let us know what you liked about this fight, and that's gonna do it for us. And we'll see you next time.